Round number 2 in the lower bracket play-in stage of this year's MSI 2023 in London. And it's the Golden Guardians going against Movie Star R7. And whoever comes out with the victory today will proceed to the lower bracket final, where the last 2 remaining teams will battle for the last seed in the bracket stage.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Wait, we have to go mid-lane
Game
right now.
number 1 in this best of 3, and it's the Golden Guardians starting from the blue side with Licorice in the top lane playing the cannon. River, he's in the jungle on the Vi. Gory, he plays the Ahri in the mid lane, and Styx and Hui, the bot lane duo on Aphelios and Annie. And in the red corner, it's R7 starting with Bong on the Malphite in the top lane. Oddy, he's in the jungle on the Wukong. Miro, he's on the Lissandra in the mid lane, and Sio and Lions in the bot lane on Zeri and on Rakan. And we're almost 4 minutes into the game as we see River on the Vi sneaking in with a flash Q on Miro. And the Golden Guardians, they will draw the first blood in this game. And only half a minute later, Hui roams to the mid lane, and the Q of the Annie connects, and so the charm of the Ahri. Miro, he answers with the Ring of Frost, but the Fox fires of Gory, and the Ignite from the Annie will be enough to take down Miro for the second time. So the Golden Guardians with 2 early kills, but R7 still managing to get the tempo in the bot lane to take down the first dragon of the game. But it will be Hui and River who obtain the first herald for the team from the LCS. 9.5 minutes into the game, we see the Vi lurking in the brushes, charging the Q, knocking up Bong, and again with the ult, throw him in the air, and as Licorice comes by, the two will leave behind nothing but dust of the R7 top laner. And so it's already after 10 minutes a 3k gold lead for the Golden Guardians, who are now about to summon the adorable Shelly. And with all her raging grace, she charges up and takes down the top lane T1 of R7. And we will stay a bit and watch on the bottom right screen how the Herald walks up to the second turret in the top lane and gets off another charge. Before, after almost 13 minutes, the Golden Guardians, they collect the second dragon of the game, as we will find ourselves back at the Herald Pit, where the team from the LCS is trying to take this objective for the second time, and they will. So after 15 minutes, it's a 5k gold lead for them, and they will place the Herald only seconds later in the bot lane. And it charges and leaves the bot lane T1 of R7 as some loot to be taken by River and by Gory. But unlike in the top lane before, we now have Bong here, who with all his politeness explains to the Rift Lady that the T2 in this lane is not to be charged in. And back to the mid lane we go as we see Oddy waiting for Hui there to go in with the Cyclone. River comes to help, and Oddy, he dashes immediately towards Stixay, and the Aphelios in the crosshairs of the whole R7 team. And as a 5, they just burst him into the realms of grey screen. Only seconds later, Oddy, he dashes into Licorice, but look how fast the cannon stuns the jungler. And together with River, they just take him down within seconds. Bong gets stunned and Gory, he goes for the ADC, but the Malphite knocks him up with his ult, and the Ahri is getting so low with 10 HP, limping away. River, he goes in on Sio, and so is Licorice on the cannon, who collects the kill on the Zeri. And look at Miro, whose screen is almost grey, but the body block from the Rakan comes in huge. Lions being the bodyguard's delight in this scene. But now he's trapped and doomed. Like a true hero, he stands tall, faces death, and knows that he has saved his mid laner. But nonetheless, the Golden Guardians win this fight without losing a team member. And they're now going to put the third Drake of the game into their pockets. And we are back into the mid lane, about 20 seconds before the Baron spawns. And keep an eye on the entrance to the bot side jungle. There's Gory, trapping Seal with the charming River. He goes in with the Vi ult. And R7 is deprived of the ADC within not much more than 2 seconds. And without Seal, it's impossible for R7 to defend their mid lane T1. And now Miro getting knocked up by the Vi Q, but his glacial path will be his exit. But anyways, the Golden Guardians now going for the tier 2 turret. And the lithic statue only lasts for seconds until it crumbles. And slowly but surely the victory is getting out of reach for R7. As we up into the top lane, where Bong, not knowing that the cannon and the Vi are lurking, and they go for the Malphite, chiseling him into pieces. It's an 8k gold lead now that we're 22 minutes into the game, and we see the silhouette of an isolated cannon who's now attacked by 4 members of R7, and he doesn't stand a chance against them. But the fight continues. The rest of Golden Guardians now reach the scene. Go Red River, they go for a 2v3, and they pick up the Lissandra to be the first target. And River takes down Miro, but now he himself becomes the target. Taken down by Seo. Stixay managed to connect the Aphelios ult over the wall on Bong, who's now so low that he can't do much but bring himself into safety. As Stixay is going for Audi and collects the kill. Now he takes down Bong, and he's going for Seo next, and the Zeri will fall, and it's a triple kill for Stixay, the ADC of the Golden Guardians, who's the only player who managed to collect a pentakill in this tournament so far. And the team from the LCS, they managed to obtain the Baron. Now the third dragon lands into their pockets too. They lose the top lane T1, but it won't hurt them much, as they're already pushing the bot lane, where the T2 is about to fall. And with this, they're now threatening the base of R7 through 2 lanes. It's the bot and the mid lane, where they stand in front of the inhib turret. And for R7, there's not much left to do, as they're so far behind. And now Bong, he goes in with the Malphite ult, followed by Lions and by Oni, but all 3, they get stunned and just melted down and shredded. It's a triple kill again for Stixay. And the remaining 2 members of R7 got killed in the meantime. And the kills go to Gori on the Ahri. And so the Golden Guardians, they ace R7, and with an impeccable and flawless performance in this game 1, they will defeat their opponent from the LLA, and now they're standing just 1 step away from the final in the lower bracket. And for R7 to reach it, they will have to turn things by 180 degrees in game 2, or otherwise they will have to face elimination, and their chase for the trophy would end right here. Game number 2, and it's the first of 2 potential match points for the Golden Guardians, who are playing again from the blue side. It's Licorice in the top lane, now on the Cassante. River, he plays the Nocturne in the jungle. Gori, he's on the Talia in the mid lane, and Stixay and Hui in the bot lane on the Lucian Nami combo. And for R7, Bong in the top lane, the only player who kept his champion, he's on the Malphite again. Odi, he plays the Maokai in the jungle now. Miro, he's on the Jace, and in their bot lane, it's Seer and Lions on Aphelios and on the Lulu. And we find ourselves 2.5 minutes into the game as Stixay, he flashes forward and takes down Lions for the first blood in this game. Great anticipation by the GG ADC. And we now hop into the top lane where Licorice and Bong are having a bit of a fight there. And as River comes by, the Malphite between the rock and a hard place in an awkward position there, flashing over the wall, but so do River and Licorice. And they chase down Bong, who then turns trying to trade in 1-for-1, but it won't be enough, and he's slain. Second kill going to the Golden Guardians as we hop back into the bot lane where we see the Maokai flashing over the wall using the Nature's Grasp, and it will root Stixay, who's now trapped, knocked back by Odi into the midst of 3 players of R7, and they will get their first kill. As we see River here after 9.5 minutes taking down the Herald. And after a bit more than 11 minutes, the first dragon gets slain into mountain. That goes to R7. And another minute later, we see Shelly placed by River in the bot lane, where Stixay and Huey already managed to almost take away half of the HP of the T1 there. And so after the Herald charged in, there's not much left of it. And we will stick with the scene uncut as we go into the top lane, where Licorice on the Cassante takes Bong about 1.5 miles over the walls. And the Cassante initially with less HP, but look at the combination of Q and the E dash into the shield. And all of a sudden it's the Malphite running for his life, trying to use the blast cone, but the Q of Licorice pulls him back and he's slain as we hop into the bot side River, where the Nocturne of River goes for Seo, but he falls before the ADC of R7 does. And now Miro in an awkward position, but Lions and Odi, they are going for Stixay, and they deny the ADC of the Golden Guardians to deal some damage. And a little but aggressive Yordle of Lions chasing him down, and he takes him down, but also Miro, he falls, getting bubbled to death there by the Nami, and so both supporters collect a kill. And in the end it will be the Golden Guardians being the victors in this fight, as we see Licorice in the top lane, almost taking down the turret there. But look at Odi getting pulled in by the seismic shot of Gori and is sent to the fountain. A bit of an annoying death there for the R7 jungler, as we see Licorice in the bottom right screen finally taking down the top lane T1, and we hop into the bot side jungle of the Golden Guardians, where the next team fight breaks out, where Oddie goes in on River and Gory, but the Talia goes for the Lulu of Lions. Oddie and River separated by the blast count, and the Lulu taken down by Stixay. Makes it a double kill as he takes down the R7 ADC. River, he slays Mirror, and again, a team fight, won by the Golden Guardians, and look at the gold difference, which is huge on each position there up ahead. And they will also take the second Herald. They are leading by more than 7k gold, and they are really snowballing this game out of reach for R7 now. Because just a minute later, they slay the dragon, and they are now pushing through the mid lane. River on the Nocturne with the Paranoia picks out Seal to be his target, and together with Stixay they take down the ADC within the blink of an eye, and now it's Oddie getting chased by 4 members of the Golden Guardians, and they chop the tree in his own jungle. And R7, they now like an ADC and a jungler. Bong on the Malphite trying to take the objective bounty in the top lane as we see Licorice seriously attacked there by the Jace of Mirror. Both are trading HP for HP as the Rift Herald was summoned in the mid lane. Lions there taking some damage by Gory, losing half of his HP, and the T2 in the mid lane falls. And the Rift Lady, adorable as she is, takes another charge to ram into the mid lane inhib turret. Bong, he cancelled his recall earlier and is like a madman, delirious with the desire to finally take down this top lane T1, and he does it at all cost, ignores Licorice who TPs in. But he gets the turret in the end as well. But with less than half HP left, he knows that his fate in this fight is already sealed. As now River, he joins the scene, goes for the Malphite as well, who's so tanky. The Rock finds 2 people who need all their spells and abilities and auto attacks to finally take him down. After a bit more than 19 minutes, the mid lane inhib turret of R7 is already fallen as the fight breaks out in the topside jungle. Oddie goes in, but he gets CC'd for like eternities before Stixay. He collects the kills on him, and the Paranoia pitches Mirror on his Jace. Bong is tanking every damage he can obtain. Gory, in the meantime, in the bot lane, takes down the T2, and now he's teleporting to join the fight. And as the Talia reaches the jungle, she immediately activates the Weaver's wall and cuts off the escape route for R7. They are now trapped under their T2. Licorice and Mirror are going for each other, but then the Cassandra gets polymorphed. But R7, they're encircled, and Gory finds an angle to take down Mirror. And now only 3 members left, and all hell breaks loose on them. Bong, the last living member, about to send to the grey screen. And it's a triple kill for Gory. And the Golden Guardians, they ace R7. And now they're going for the Baron. And then they will try to put the nail to the coffin as they decide to who has to stay and take down the top lane T2. Would be nice to take it if it's free like this. And while Sihui there enjoying his time on the Nami as he has a 2-0-12, you see Zio there with a bit frustration painted all over his face. And the Golden Guardians, they took the Baron. They will have to give the bot lane T1, but it would be a fair trade, as they are now already breaking into the base of R7, about to crash the top lane inhib turret and the mid lane inhib as well. And there's only so much that R7 can do, little to nothing. They can only watch as their base starts to fall into pieces. The level and the item disadvantage is just too much for them, and it has to take a miracle and a half to come back into this game. But maybe there is a silver lining somewhere, but it has to occur quickly because there's not much structure left on their base. The time for hero play is now or never. The team from the LLA is standing on the edge of elimination from this tournament. It could be the last seconds. The Lucian culling begins, and it connects on Bong, as Oddie comes in from the bot side with the Nature's Cross. The Malphite ult connects on Stixay, they're desperately trying to take out the ADC. Oddie simply dashes away and returns the fire to take down the Malphite. But R7, they take out the Nocturne. But now their jungler gets isolated and killed. Stixay has the Nexus turrets in his crosshairs. Hui and Gory, they keep Miro busy, so that Licorice, who's solo, can quickly recall and teleport back. And here he comes already, standing in front of the last 3 members of R7, and he goes for it. He's attacking Seal, and there's just no damage that the 3 R7 members can deal to him. And now it's Miro who falls. Seal follows, and so does Lions. And the Golden Guardians, they take this game number 2, and they will end this best of 3 with it. So for R7, the tournament ends right here and right now, at this very moment. while the team from the LCS will proceed to the lower brackets final, where the Golden Guardians will fight for the last spot of the tournament's bracket stage.
Lost in space, superhero vibes, yo. Put your hands up if you wanna go.